Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this is a space where we look at the raw reality of the post concussion journey. Like so many others walking this path, you've likely been told the standard textbook line that a concussion is supposed to magically resolve within 2 to 4 weeks. But today, you might be at week 5, month 3, or even further out. And when you look in the mirror, there is nothing to see. No cast, no stitches, no wound dressing. Because there is no physical mark to prove your injury exists, you end up fighting a war with your own mind and gaslight yourself sometimes. I want to validate exactly how heavy that uncertainty feels. It is exhausting to wake up every morning wondering which version of your brain you're going to get today. But here is what I want you to hold on to right now. A brand new landmark study was just published last month in the journal Neurology. A team of researchers tracked concussion patients daily from the exact moment they entered the emergency department up to 6 months out. And what they discovered validates everything you have been feeling. It proves that prolonged recovery is not a personal failure, it's biological. The study was led by Dr. Samantha McIntosh and her team at a major level 1 trauma center. They looked at adults who had just sustained an acute concussion, but they did two things that have never really been done before in a study. First, they used the strict new 2023 American Congress of Rehabilitation Medicine criteria. This means they specifically focused on people with true concussions who had no structural damage or bleeding on a CAT scan. So if your doctor has told you your CAT scan is normal, you're fine, but you still feel terrible, this study is literally about you. Second, instead of just checking in on patients months later, the research team sent them a digital symptom checklist every single day. And here's what the data showed. About 32% of people, roughly 1 in 3, developed what clinicians called PSAC, or Persisting Symptoms After Concussion. If you are past the 1 month mark and still struggling, you are part of this 32%. You are not an anomaly. You are a significant, documented part of the real concussion story. The researchers wanted to know what sets this 32% apart. Why does one person bounce back in 4 days while another is still stumbling around in the dark months later? They uncovered 3 major biological risk factors that predict a longer concussion recovery. The study found that if you had a high symptom burden in the emergency room, meaning severe physical, cognitive, emotional, and sleep symptoms all at once, right after the injury, it mathematically altered your timeline. If you experienced a tidal wave of symptoms on day 1, your brain's inflammatory response was likely highly complex from the start. Secondly, the data revealed that females were 3.5 times more likely to experience persisting symptoms at the 1 month mark. There is a real distinct biological difference in how male and female brains process the crisis of a concussion. If you are a woman listening to this, science is explicitly telling you that your longer timeline is biologically driven. The third factor, post-traumatic amnesia or PTA, was the heaviest predictor. The research team found that patients who experienced PTA, meaning you had a gap in your memory or confusion immediately after the injury, even if you did not black out, were 4.7 times more likely to have symptoms beyond the 1 month mark. So, why am I sharing all these numbers with you? How does this help you feel better today? Because when you have a concussion, your brain is in a state of automatic dysregulation. Your fight or flight system is stuck on high alert. And do you know what keeps it stuck there? Panic. The constant daily panic of wondering, why am I not healed yet? I want you to look back at your injury. Did you have memory fog immediately after the hit? I did. Are you female? I am. Did you have a massive wave of symptoms on day one? Yes, I did. If you answered yes to any of these questions, your brain's timeline was structurally set up to take longer to recover. The solution is not to force your brain to heal faster by aggressively pushing through. Instead, you want to accept the timeline that your brain requires so your nervous system can finally drop out of fight or flight mode. When you stop fighting the timeline, you give your brain the peace it needs to actually start cellular repair. The study showed that while the median recovery was just 4 days, the range went all the way up to 134 days. Healing is not a straight path forward. It is a slow, winding curve with its own natural ups and downs. If you are at day 30, day 60, day 100, or beyond, you are still on the recovery curve. Your brain is working very hard to recalibrate its energy levels and heal its neural pathways. You are not broken. You're just healing on a specific biological timeline that science is finally starting to map out. I hope the findings in this research study brought some comfort to you as it did to me. I will leave the details of the study in the description. Thank you for spending a few minutes today to listen in. And as always, take a deep breath, give yourself some grace today, and I'll see you next time.